Retired AIG Tunde Ogunshakin has described recently promoted officers who worked with him at the Rivers State Command and AIG Zone 6 and Zone 12 as good officers who will go from strength to strength. Speaking shortly after a get together with the promoted officers, retired AIG Ogunsakin said he believes that the officers will soon be promoted. He described CP Olatunji Disu as a serious officer who work without supervision.
I'm AIG Tunde Ogunshakin, retired. These are my boys that work with me. Special Fraud Unit. They work with me in River State when I was Commissioner of Police, and some of them to work with me when I was AIG Zone 6 and AIG Zone 12. They are very good officers and they have been promoted, which actually confirmed my using them that time to their limit. And they are very industrious, very hard-working officers. They will continue to grow strength, and then they will continue to make sure that criminals don't have resting place. With them, we know we are safe.
Soon, I'm not in your mind, but I just want to guess. What do you think they will be soon?
They will continue to get promotion to the next rank, and they are going to be something very soon. They will continue to get promotion. They are going to increase in leaps and bounds.
I'm sure you have more men that you refer to them as boys. You have more boys. Who are your boys in those days? Are they still remaining boys you are expecting to come up?
Yeah, I can tell you without equivocation that most of the boys that work with me are rising up, and that is why I'm happy, and it's my joy that most officers that work with me find themselves in high positions. So I think maybe I term myself very lucky too, that officers that work with me always rise up.
There is one I just want you to tell me and others about him, Disu. What can you say about him?
Like I said earlier, that he worked with me in Port Harcourt. In fact, when we were fighting courtesan, we were fighting kidnapping and all other sundry crimes in Port Harcourt, it was like the engine room. He was Assistant Commissioner of Police. He wasn't sleeping. All of us were not sleeping, but he particularly was not sleeping. He's a very hard-working officer. He's cerebral, very intelligent. If you give him a job, you can go and sleep. He works without supervision, and so that is a very good character of a very good officer. Some officers, you have to follow them on everything. Just give him directive. Just give him a simple instruction. He carries out, and you'll be happy how he did it. So I think sky is just the beginning. It's going to be well.
Everyone is looking at him. He just left Department of RRT under IG, and everyone is looking at him. Since he worked with you under state, now he took federal role, and it seems excelling. What do you think?
Yeah, I can tell you that wherever section he finds himself, be CID, be operations, he will continue to excel. I have no doubt in my mind. He will continue to do well because he's a very serious, good officer. He's a delectable officer. He, just like I said, he works without supervision. And when you give him an instruction, he carries out to the letter. And, you know, some officer, you give him a job, and then him is exceptional in the sense that whatever work you give him to do, he thinks to, you know, I actually preach to them, think outside the box to get result. And when the place is just left, you didn't hear any noise. But it was, you know, it's a very silent worker. silent as Shifa, he doesn't make noise, and that is the measurement of a very good officer. Without making noise, he does his work very well, and without actually attracting publicity and all that. He does his work excellently well.
Will you encourage young ones, especially those that are just leaving university and others, to take up police job, and in those ones in secondary school?
Yes, why not? Wait, some of us didn't. By the time I left university, police was not the best of jobs that I wanted to do. But in my town today, because a lot of people saw me to have made good job out of police, that of course, because of the sensitive positions I had when I was in police, it's known to everybody. So if you go to my town today, everybody that knows me want their children and all that to be a policeman in the mode of Tunde Ogunshakin. So that's, I think, everybody listening to us too. Police work is a good job, because I've not seen anybody who say police job is not important. You may, but in our society, all over the world, police officers are not really liked. But the fact is, nobody will say police work is not important, because if anything happens to you, somebody just take your property or something, the person that comes to your mind subconsciously is, I would take you to police, I would do things to police. That means police work is so important to society that you must find people who are dedicated, who wants to serve the society, who want to serve the community, to be police officers. And so the public at large must encourage men and officers of the police to do the work as it should be.
Congratulations for your achievement to have been a leader of those men.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
However, CP Olatunji said it is a thing of joy celebrating the boss, retired AIG Ogunshakin. CP Olatunji said IRT will never fall as he charges young Nigerians to take up police work.
My name is Olatunji Disu. I'm a commissioner of police.
It seems you are a special breed for a senior officer to be celebrating you and others today. How do you feel?
I don't know about that, but I may want to tend to agree with you, because he may think he's celebrating us, but we are the ones celebrating him. Because just like he mentioned earlier, we are like his children, and then we have worked with him when he was commissioner of police, and I think I was a chief superintendent of police then, and he rose to the rank of Inspector General, Assistant Inspector General of Police, retired gracefully, and we, his so-called children, are now going to the ranks of Commissioner of Police and as Assistant Inspector General of Police. So it's something of joy to him, and it's something of joy to all of us that he remembered we worked with him well, and he decided to celebrate us today.
You and who is he celebrating today?
A lot of us today. Our former area commander in charge of Metro, AIG Mohammed, the AIG Kawadebetokun, and one or two other officers who are still around.
Looking back to those days when you served in those junior classes, I'm sorry if I use the wrong word, but in those junior ranks, what are those things that you are remembering or that you forever remember?
I will not call them junior ranks, although we're officers, we still see ourselves as senior officers. And at that particular time, I was in charge of the anti-robbery squad. The period at that time were difficult. We had cases of robberies and kidnapping. But the most important thing that I remember so well, that made things go well for us, was our dedication and tenacity to ensure that we get everything we desire as per the job. A robbery has happened, people have been killed, and the Commissioner of Police have tasked us to unravel it. We make sure we unravel it and pick everybody who have taken part in every robbery. So it's a thing of joy to us that we're able to do it, and I'm sure the Commissioner of Police remembers that and he still appreciates it.
Now you serving your last point before your promotion was a hierarchy. What are those things that are in your mind that you always remember in the department of IRT?
I will let you know that IRT is a wonderful place to work. It's a specialized area, so to say. Is an area that I was able to, my little area that I was able to work and then put my influence, exert my influence, a lot of changes I was able to do. But at the same time, the IRT succeeded in changing me because I found out that I had wonderful officers, experienced officers, officers who are goal-getters. And most importantly, there are a lot of technical things that members of IRT have mastered. And when I was going, I mentioned to them, and I was not lying to them, that I'm happy to have worked with the best set of police officers that we can boast of in this country and even in sub-Saharan Africa.
You're out of IRT. Do you think IRT will stand?
Definitely, IRT will stand. We have officers who are trained, they are professionals, they know what they are there for. I'm leaving a 2IC who is an assistant commissioner of police. The place is standardized, everybody knows their duty. If I leave, if my 2IC leaves, the job will continue and it will continue to strive because they are already standardized. Everybody know what their duties are. They are specialized, they have been trained. IRT will never fall, rather it will continue to grow and achieve better and better results for the country.
If you are to advise young ones in terms of taking a career, will you say police is a good career that they should pick up?
Definitely, again and again, I will say it, the policing is a good career. In fact, it's the best job anybody can do because it comprises of everything. You are a doctor, you are a lawyer, you are everything that you can think about. It's wonderful, and most importantly, you are saving lives. You are making people happy. So it's the best job anybody can think about.
Bemiga Olamiko, GTV Africa.